You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for? That boy is mine.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. We're in FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Benador right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I sure hope you enjoy the first full Saturday of the 2025 college football season, because it was a blast. Big upsets, big developments. Nice season opening victory for Ryan Silverfield's Tigers inside Simmons Bank, 45-10. Blowout of Chattanooga. Big Bet Bennett and his little psychos were there. I was there with my psychos. It was a fun day. Simmons Bank. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish this open talking about Memphis football, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we will discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, perhaps Steve Spurrier was onto something when he questioned the greatness of Arch Manning, the Heisman favorite. Looked pedestrian in top-ranked Texas' loss at Ohio State. Lee Corso got it right. He put it on. We'll discuss that big development in about 25 minutes. Congrats to former Memphis coach Mike Norvell. Huge victory over Alabama this weekend. Crimson Tide fans they already want Nick Saban back. We'll talk FSU Alabama. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Clemson was some people's pick to be the #1 overall seed in the college football playoff. Those Tigers are now 0-1 with a loss at home to LSU. Nice victory for Brian Kelly. We'll talk Tiger on Tiger crime. We'll do that in just a bit. Bill Belichick, he got trounced in his debut at North Carolina. That was the big one last night. Rough stuff for the legendary NFL coach, who is now 0-1 at the collegiate level. We'll dive into that situation. We'll do it in the next segment. And we already have an interesting war of words developing between the coaches at Oregon and Oklahoma State in advance of this upcoming weekend's non-league game. It'll be on CBS. That's America's most watched network, the Network of Stars. I'll tell you how Dan Lanning responded to Mike Gundy. We'll do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start by telling that I hope you all enjoyed the first full Saturday of this college football season. Massive matchups, fun games, interesting developments. As noted, we're going to dive into most of the big headlines. We'll do that in the next segment. But I want to start with the happenings at Simmons Bank this weekend. Final score, Memphis 45, Chattanooga 10. Ryan Silverfield's Tigers, they jumped to a 21-0 lead pretty quickly, led 28-3 at the half, won the game by 35 points. Easy victory, easy cover. And the Tigers are 1-0 on the season now. They're on a 5-game winning streak dating back to last season. 14-2 in their past 16 games and 12-0 in their past 12 home openers. On that last point, 12-0, last 12 home openers. Ryan Silverfield, he said the credit for 12 straight home opening wins, he said that credit, you know who he said it goes to? He said it goes to the fans.
How about
Big
that?
Bet Bennett, I was a fan at Saturday's game, and you were a fan at Saturday's game. Ryan Silverfield gave both of us credit. Congratulations to you and your family on contributing to this season opening victory at Simmons Bank. Would you like to congratulate me and my family as well?
Yeah, congratulations, man. And thank you, Coach Silverfield, for the recognition. I truly appreciate it.
No, it is nice to be recognized.
Yes, it's very nice to be recognized. No, we did. We had a lot of fun on Saturday, man. We made it till a little past halftime. I had the two little guys, the 6-year-old and the 2-year-old.
That's a tough task.
6-year. My wife was working Saturday, so she couldn't go. And so I had both of them by myself. And like you realize pretty quickly, like we had planned to come and like meet up with y'all on Tiger Lane.
Nothing goes as planned.
Nothing. We were an hour late.
Of course you were.
We were an hour late. The 2-year-old won't stay by my side at all, and I'm holding like 2 pizzas and some Uncle Lou's for myself, and I got a beer in the back pocket, and it's just. It never goes the way you think it's going to go. But we had a blast. We had a great time.
I text you. I wanted to be true to my word. I settled in out at Simmons Bank, and I said, people are getting pulled in different directions. I said, everybody just calm down for a second. I got to text Big Bet Bennett.
Yes.
I'm trying to be a man of my word today. I told him I'd let him know when we get there. I told him I'd let him know where we're going to be. We're here. Looks like where we're going to be. I'm going to text Big Bet Bennett.
Yeah.
And special shouts, by the way, to Taylor Oaks. Taylor Oaks, he sent me a little note on Instagram. I think it was my Instagram message.
Okay.
He slid into the DMs.
Nice.
Which I don't mind at all. I like it.
My DMs are open. Yes.
My DMs are open. I get excited sometimes.
Yeah,
you never know.
For sure. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen in the DMs, right? So he slid in my DMs, and I guess he'd heard me and the family were going to come out for the season opener against Chattanooga. He said, hey, listen, no pressure, but if you're looking, if you're just looking for a place, we got a place. We've been here for a long time. You're more than welcome. I said, man, that's really nice. And then we parked over there by the by CBU. We parked over there by CBU, and we walked in, and I said, you know what, Taylor's like a tailgate situation. It's right here. Why don't we just stop right here? So we settled in. Could not have been better. Everybody there was
nice.
Great. The family had a good time. It was we were rolling 5 deep. My middle guy, OP, he went to the lake this weekend with his little buddy Amos, so they were out of the picture. It was nice. Special shouts to the Will Heights for going to Pickwick this weekend. We then were left with just one of our little psychos. So it was little Lou. We had Aiden and his beautiful girlfriend, Julie, and then my gorgeous wife, Kev. We were rolling 5 deep to Simmons Bank. We kicked it at the tailgate there. Then we went more over to proper Tiger Lane by the fountain and, the blow-up stuff. And then we settled into the football stadium, and what did we watch? One touchdown after another. We also left, if we're being completely honest, a little after halftime. It was hot.
It was pretty hot. Yeah, the sun was beating down.
And we got out there like around 1 o'clock or so. I mean, we did a good 2.5 hours of tailgating. Like, we was drinking our high noons, and we was doing our, I think somebody called it a peanut butter and jelly shot. I said, I'll do a peanut butter and jelly shot.
That sounds cool.
I said, I'll try it. Sure. Why not? It's Saturday. So, and then we had the hot dogs and the desserts, and we was just having a good old time. And then we settled into the football stadium. And after we watched the Tigers take complete control in a non-league matchup against Chattanooga, I looked around and I said, everybody, listen, I'm cool. We're fine. But I feel like what's happening, this competition in front of us, I feel like it's settled how we want to spend the rest of this day. And folks were starting to get hungry. And so I said, let's just make a day of it then. And so I'm about to tell you about a great Memphis day. Okay. On what I think can be reasonably described as 901 weekend.
Yeah, you
because
can go
yesterday
on
was
a
901
weekend.
day.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, what do we want to do next? And Aiden's girlfriend, not to get too personal, right? But she's not from here, right? She's from a different part of the country. So she spent some time here, but not a lot of time here. So I was like, let's take her places where if she ever says, yeah, my boyfriend is from Memphis, and they go, oh, have you ever done A, B, and C? She won't be looking like, what's that? We can start putting things on her list of things she's accomplished visiting the wonderful city of Memphis. So I said, you know what we ought to do? Here's what we ought to do. We ought to roll straight from Simmons Bank. It ain't too far. Let's roll straight downtown to the Rendezvous. Let's give her a proper rendezvous dinner. And how about this? Tell me how perfect this is. So we walk straight into the Rendezvous, celebrating a Memphis victory over Chattanooga. I said, we're going to need a table for 5. They said, come on back here. We're going to set you right here. And guess who we got seated right next to? Coincidentally, but beautifully, the legend Michael Donahue.
How about that?
The legend Michael Donahue.
He's always about town. He's just always everywhere.
I was trying to explain to Julie just how prominent of and important and how special of a Memphian this is. He's my former colleague, Michael Donahue, my forever friend. But here's the thing about Michael Donahue. He's everybody's friend.
Yes.
Everybody knows Michael Donahue.
Everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's always looked exactly like Michael Donahue. Whenever you've seen him your entire life, he has looked exactly like Michael Donahue. You know, sometimes I'll click on Daily Mail or TMZ or, you know, one of these types of websites where you read about stuff that's just a total waste of time.
Yeah.
You're not gaining anything out of it. It's just a total, you don't even know why you're reading this stuff, but you'll read this stuff sometimes. I guess it's a way to pass the time. And they'll say, former Hollywood star looks unrecognizable now.
Right.
And it's typically just mean. It's like somebody who used to be 28 and be on television in bikinis, and now they're 72.
Right.
And it's like, oh, remember the 28-year-old bikini model? Oh, you wouldn't even recognize her these days. And I'm like, well, that's just the meanest shit you could do to somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I'm sorry, the 72-year-old doesn't look like she's 28 anymore. But what are we doing? What is the point of that? Right? Here's my point, though. You could do it with Michael Donahue. He would always look recognizable.
That's very true.
He's never looked unrecognizable. 75 years now, Michael Donahue, and still looks exactly like Michael Donahue. So we got to have that little moment. And then it was nice because Aiden was there, and because I was working with Michael when Aiden was born at the Commercial Appeal. And so Mike starts piecing this together. He's like, and this is, and I said, yes, because when Aiden was born, you know, you get a lot of baby gifts.
Yeah.
You get baby gifts. And most people give you diapers or formula or, you know, pacifiers, whatever it is people give you for baby gifts. And Michael Donahue gave forever the best baby gift. You know what he got? The biggest bottle of whiskey you've ever seen. He handed it to me. He said, You're going to need this more than you need diapers.
He gets it.
You're going to need this more than you need that cute little University of Memphis outfit for your baby boy. You're going to need this.
Yep.
And he was right. He was right. But I don't know if Aiden ever even knew that story. And so
cool.
Aiden got to hear that story straight from Michael Donahue. And, buddy, that's just a perfect night. And then I said, ain't no need for the night to end here. What do we want to do next? I guess we could order dessert from the Rendezvous, and it would be terrific. But if we're trying to really check some boxes tonight, let's walk to the Peabody. Let's get dessert over there. Let's let her have dessert in the Peabody lobby. And so these are all the things we did on Saturday. Memphis
it's a
football.
solid checklist.
Memphis football, followed by dinner at the Rendezvous with Michael Donahue, folled by Peabody desserts and drinks.
It's a really solid checklist.
What's better than that?
I like it.
What's better than that?
Nice work.
I'm not trying to. Now it's the part where you're supposed to tell me how awesome your day was, and you're not going to be able to match that. I'm not setting you up for failure. I'm just trying to celebrate my own very Memphis afternoon.
No, my day was awesome. Shoot, I had a 901 moment too. I got Uncle Lou's at the Liberty Bowl served by Uncle Lou. Yeah, I mean that was pretty cool. Yeah, so that was pretty great. I got some wings from Uncle Lou's, which please never. That's got to stay there. That is my go-to at the Liberty Bowl.
Uncle Lou.
Every time. It's all I ever get.
Me and Oliver went to Uncle Lou's like proper a few weekends ago. We were just
the best.
Out. It was the same type of thing. We were just out, and he was like, Dad, I'm hungry. And I said, okay, cool, let's grab lunch. And I was like, I guess we could go to Nuke's, you know? But why don't I take you somewhere maybe you've never been?
Yeah,
We're going to see Lou.
It's like good stuff.
And the Uncle Lou, the legend, he was not there on the day we were there. But still, like I got to talk to him about Lou and tell him, you know, this is a Memphis spot.
Yeah.
This is where we need to be. We had fried chicken that day. It was nice.
Yeah. There was we had a blast at the game. My kids thought it was awesome. Like Miles had never been to a game before, right? So this was his first like sporting event.
Sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. He had a blast. I did look over at one point and he was like laying face down in the bleachers. So like
it could get tough.
It gets tough. He was like eating his food off the ground, and so like it
ain't none of my business, but I wouldn't mind if we'd got this $250 million and just put a roof on that thing.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of, it was cool because we were sitting across from the hole. I believe we call it the hole, right?
The Liberty Hole.
Yeah, it's not so much a hole anymore. They're filling that thing up.
There.
Yeah.
You can see where a hole used to be.
The cool thing is, though, is you can like see the vision now. You can see what it's going to be, it's going to be really cool, I think. Like that big, pavilion where people can just walk and have a drink and look out and see the whole stadium. And then obviously I think the suites are going to look really cool too. So I can see the vision, man.
It'll be better than we've ever had.
For sure.
Still going to be a proponent of on-campus stadium. I'm still going to argue.
Sorry, buddy.
I would have liked to have taken all this state money and then tried to use it to attract more money to try to build the thing that some of us have always wanted on that campus, to use as a magnet back to that campus so I can take my family back to that campus where I went to school once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
But, life's not perfect. So this will be. Let's just focus on the good. It'll be better than it's ever been.
That's right.
It'll be better than it's ever been. We'll get there someday. In the meantime, we're just celebrating a 1-0 football team. That
started the season with a turnover. That was a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. For about 2 minutes there, I was like, whoa.
I wasn't gonna be scared.
Yeah.
Not that early into a non-league game against Chattanooga.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they sort of settled in, and Brendan Lewis was fine. 22 of 28, 199 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He also ran it 10 times, if you care about this type of stuff. 28 passing attempts. He ran it 10 times. The Tigers as a team ran it 33 times. Some of that's byproduct of being up a billion touchdowns in the third and fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not really trying to air anything out. But there does seem to be some evidence there that maybe the Tigers will try to run the ball a little more this season than they have in recent years with Seth Hennigan playing quarterback. Perhaps Brendan Lewis is not as dangerous with his arm as Seth Hennigan once was, but his feet move okay.
Yeah, I think and I think it's one of the reasons that they made him the starter. Obviously, a veteran who's played a lot of college football games, but there is a solid floor there. I think like what you saw on Saturday, I think is what you're going to be. You can feel comfortable thinking you're going to get that consistently out of him on a game-to-game basis.
Probably won't be an All-American. Might not be the best quarterback in the American, but can you win this league with him playing that position?
I think so. Yeah. Now he's gonna, there's going to be games where he's going to have to throw the football.
Sure.
And have over 200 yards passing. It's just that's gonna come up. That's gonna have to happen.
But there's no reason to try to throw the ball any more than they did, given that they won the game 45-10.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, I thought it was all positive. I'm excited about the season. These next two are kind of interesting on the road before you obviously have just a big stretch of with Arkansas and then a bunch of big-time home games within the conference. So just don't slip up.
And this is right in front of them.
Yes.
I mean, I know it's early, and I don't want to get hyperbolic, but what is the fun of even being a sports fan if you can't start to daydream a little bit and imagine a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I talked about this before in other aspects of life. Like, to the extent I ever buy a Powerball ticket, I don't buy it because I think I'm going to win $100 million tonight. I buy it because, man, it's fun to just sort of think about, maybe I could, you know what? Let me win Powerball. Maybe I'll put it on campus stadium. I'll just come right out my pocket and put it on campus stadium over at the University of Memphis.
I for sure would.
I don't want to be held to that. I might have other priorities.
No, if I ever win what is the Powerball right now?
Oh, it's above $1 billion now, I believe.
Yeah, if I win that thing, I'll invest.
I'll invest.
I got y'all. Yeah.
I'll
If I
invest,
win
but I
that
don't
thing,
wanna
we're building stuff around here.
I
Yep.
don't want to commit my whole winnings to an on-campus football stadium, but I'll invest. Okay. I promise to invest if I win Powerball this week. But the fun is not like I'm holding a ticket and I can't wait to get my hundreds of millions of dollars. You're holding a piece of trash, probably, that is worth nothing, probably. But like you find yourself thinking about it a little bit, and there can be some fun in that. Similarly, like I don't know when the Mets will ever win a World Series. It feels like never. All right, for my whole life, it's felt like never. But every year I start thinking about, I'm doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they just brought up these 2 rookies, and what if that can flip the season? And my God, after Juan Soto couldn't even make the 2025 MLB All-Star game, he's like in MVP contention right now. He's on his way to a 40, 30, 100 season, blah, 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 blah. It's fun to get excited. It's fun to think about what can happen, what's possible. And so I know it's early, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it's all right there.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Felica. You know Chris Felica.
Mm-hmm.
The Bear.
Right.
So he tweeted at some point last night. I thought this was interesting because you can just take certain comments, certain pieces of data, connect them, and frame a picture where you go, hey, man, this really could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just frame a picture for you, and let's get excited together. Memphis wins the season opener 45-10. No problems with Chattanooga. After the opening round of games throughout college football, Chris Felica jumps on Twitter last night. You know what he said? I'll just give you the exact quote. He said, quote, about the only take I feel rock solid about after 1 week is that the AAC champion will be the group of 5 representative to the college football playoff. Now, obviously, we no longer use AAC. They want us to be American Athletic Conference.
The American.
Or the American Athletic Conference.
Led by SOAR.
But we'll forgive that and just focus on the context of the tweet. Chris Felica, smart football man, I think you would agree.
Mm-hmm.
He believes the team that is going to be the 5th highest ranked conference champion is going to come out of the American. That's what he believes. So now we got to look at the American, try to figure out who's going to come out of the American. And right now you can make a very reasonable argument that the team that should come out of the American is your Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, the team that won it last year in Army lost a horrible game over the weekend, so they're out. They're for sure out. They lost to an FCS team this weekend. But, yeah, I mean, I think obviously USF's there. We talked about that a lot last week. I think Tulane beat Northwestern this weekend. There's going to be some competition, but it does feel like it's open for the taking.
Your reigning conference champ took a bad loss. The Mountain West favorite took a bad loss. Computer rankings shake out after the first week of games in this sport. And right now, the highest ranked American team at MasseyRatings.com is Tulane. They're 42nd in the country.
Okay.
Memphis comes in at 56th. That equates to 2nd in the American Athletic Conference. South Florida is 61st. Navy is 67th. Rice is 78th. UT San Antonio. Rice is 77th. UT San Antonio is 78th. That is the top 6 in the American right now in MasseyRatings.com.
Okay.
Memphis is 2nd. I told you Tulane's 1st, but only 14 spots ahead of Memphis on a national level, and you get Tulane at home.
That's right.
South Florida, the team coming off the big victory over Boise State, they're below you, and you get them at home.
Mm-hmm.
Navy, 67th at Massey Ratings. That equates to 4th in the American. You get them at home. So the other 3 in the best 4 in the American, according to MasseyRatings.com, you have to play them, and you get to play them all at home. Massey Ratings right now has Memphis favored in every remaining game except for the Arkansas game.
Okay.
And I don't know if you realize this, but you don't have to beat Arkansas to win the AAC.
That's right.
Now, obviously, you're going to have to win a conference championship game, and you know, we'll see. But based on computer rankings and the site of where these games are going to be played, you can reasonably argue Memphis should be the favorite right now to win the American Athletic Conference. And according to Chris Felica, the team that wins the American Athletic Conference is going to be in the college football playoff. He says that's the only thing he feels rock solid about after 1 week of games. How's that make you feel?
Let's do this.
Let's do it then.
Let's do this.
Why not just do it then?
Let's make these dreams a reality.
Let's make these dreams a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Want to know if you're interested at Georgia State on Saturday.
Yeah, they got blasted by Ole Miss over the weekend.
And you're a 13.5-point favorite over them.
Yeah, got to take care of business there.
Not concerned. I don't get concerned about stuff like this.
It's our first road game
13
with a new quarterback.
You're not playing Georgia. You're playing Georgia State. Relax.
Okay.
This is Georgia
All right,
State.
I'll chill.
This is not Georgia. 13.5-point favorite. Go there, knock that out. After that, at Troy, Massey Ratings has you projected as a 31-24 victory in that one. And then you come back home September 20th for what should be an awesome day at Simmons Bank. That's when the Razorbacks come here. And right now at MasseyRatings.com, the projected final score is Arkansas 31, Memphis 29.
Oh.
So the Razorbacks would be a 2-point favorite in that game based off of these computer numbers right now. But hey, we got a ways to go before we get to September 20th.
Yeah, man, we got to get through these road games.
Let's see what those computer numbers look like by the time we get to September 20th. But it's right there. And I know we did this last year a little bit, and then, it didn't work out the way we wanted. Perhaps because a former player was giving away the playbook. Maybe that's why. I suspect we have no such problems this season.
I would hope not.
I would hope not.
Yeah, I would hope not.
I would hope not.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sit here and promise you that Memphis is going to win the American. What I can promise you is that a prominent college football voice thinks the American champion is going to be in the college football playoff. And according to any way you chop it up, Memphis is among the reasonable candidates to be that team, and perhaps the most reasonable. Fired up.
Me too. Let's go.
Let's go.
GTG, baby.
GTG. Oh, Arch Manning didn't have as much fun this weekend as Brendan Lewis.
No,
he ain't
didn't.
no Brendan Lewis.
Maybe he's not.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not.
Yeah. Did you ever think about that?
Have we thought about that yet?
One of those quarterbacks won a game this weekend.
One of them's 1-0.
Mm-hmm. One's 0-1. That's all I'm saying.
One of them, according to Chris Felica, has a chance to represent the group of 5 in the college football playoff. And the other one, it's an uphill battle going forward.
Yep.
Doesn't mean he can't do it, but the Heisman Trophy favorite with a big famous last name looked a little rattled this weekend in his not technical debut, but the first time he's opened a season as QB1 at the collegiate level, and he goes down at Ohio State. Didn't perform well. We'll run through the other college football headlines. We'll do it next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
The NBA announced their dunk of the year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
What if Steve Spurrier was onto something about Arch Manning?
You think he was?
I'm starting to think he might have been.
Yeah.
This is a quote I've brought up to you multiple times in recent months, Big Bet Bennett, because it was just like a little small funny thing that I was like, that is interesting. Interesting point. I don't know that I buy it completely, but it's an interesting point. And the point was this: Steve Spurrier, legendary coach, with a great mouth, legendary coach.
Yes.
Wonderful mouth. He said, when asked about Arch Manning this past offseason, he was like, well, all shucks, like Steve Spurrier talks, and all shucks. And I guess he might be great, who knows? Last name is Manning, shucks. But if he's so great, why was he playing behind a 7th-round draft pick for 2 years? And I went, well, that is interesting. If he is so great, why was he playing behind a 7th-round draft pick the past couple of years? And people got answers for that,
Yeah, of course.
Seniority. It was Quinn job. Everybody has to wait their turn. Blah, blah, blah. But if you turned on Fox at 11 a.m. Central this past Saturday, what you saw at quarterback for Texas was somebody who looked like they could reasonably play behind a 7th-round draft pick for a couple of years because he wasn't very good. Now, let's be honest. He was playing against the reigning national champs on the road in a hostile environment against the NFL coordinator. There's a lot of stuff working against him. But if you are the Heisman Trophy favorite and the quarterback of the number 1 team in the country, you are expected to handle that situation better than he handled it. And he didn't handle it too well, did he? You weren't impressed?
No. I mean, you can't sit here and make excuses. I know, like, on the road at Ohio State, it's going to be tough for anyone to win, but, like, come on, man. The hype train. All the ads during the whole game were Arch Manning ads. Like, the hype is the hype, right?
Yeah.
And he wasn't good. Now, I think it'll probably be something more in the middle. Like, I don't think that he is just...
He'll never look that bad again. How about that?
I don't think he will look that bad again. I mean, and Evan, their schedule is like...
He may never be asked to play...
Right, he might not ask me to play that game again, right?
Like, Ohio State might be the best team in the country. I don't know,
playoff,
but they might be. But here's what they are. Reigning national champs, consensus top 3 team, and you're playing them on the road in their first game since they won a national championship. You might never be asked to do something like that again.
Yeah, I mean, like, their next 3 are just easy games, and so you would assume that he builds some confidence and has some huge games, and then we'll see what happens when they get into SEC play. But yeah, I can't sit here and say anything other than he was bad on Saturday.
It's possible almost anybody would have been bad under that set of circumstances. We might look up like 8 weeks from now and been like, man, Ohio State does that to everybody. They've made everybody look bad. They're on their way to becoming back-to-back national champions. Ryan Day is going to be one of the few back-to-back coaches in the modern history of college football. Think about how big of a deal we made that out of when it was Dan Hurley. It's like he got the Lakers offer after that. It was like Dan Hurley is the biggest thing in college basketball. He went back-to-back. Like, Ryan Day can very reasonably go back-to-back. And it's even a crazier story because he was on the verge of getting fired. You ready for this? 2 games ago?
Man. If he loses to Michigan again, it'll be the same thing.
If he doesn't win the national championship last year, there is a chance that he gets fired. Certainly, if he loses that first playoff game last year, I think everybody thinks he is fired. So he's just a few games away.
Right.
I don't know that anybody in the history of college football has ever been in this position, I'm about to describe it to you accurately. He's only a few games removed from possibly being fired, and also possibly less than a year away from joining Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, and Bear Bryant as back-to-back college football national championship coaches. He's both of those things. He could have been fired just a few games ago. He also could just be a few games away from being a back-to-back national champion. That's a crazy existence.
Yeah. Did you see the picture of him, by the way?
With the...
Did you... I mean, that...
Do I think he has nipple rings?
If those aren't altered pictures, I think he has nipple rings.
It looks like nipple rings.
That was a nipple ring. Again, the picture could have been altered, but the picture that I saw looked like he has nipple rings, which honestly might make me respect him more because, I mean, that's pretty, like, bold move.
To get nipple rings.
Yeah, like, I think that you, like, don't care what anybody thinks and can have like that's a huge, the coach of Ohio State, like, you're under the microscope, man.
Have you ever considered a nipple ring for yourself?
Never. No.
I never have either. I think if I were Dave Navarro, I might.
I don't know, man.
I think a nipple ring looks good on a bass player, but not so much on a football coach. But who am I to judge?
Yeah. I'm just saying,
how do you feel about nipple rings, broadly speaking?
I'm not a big fan.
You could take them or leave them.
I'm actually not a big fan.
You wouldn't put somebody's shirt back on because they had nipple rings, would you?
No.
You take a shirt off and then there you see nipple rings and you're like, put it back on.
No.
You deal with them.
It's a little shocking.
It's just like you realize there's just something else going on here.
Yeah.
You got something else you got to deal with.
But what I'm saying is like again, that guy's under a lot of pressure. I don't know if you can phase a man with nipple rings. That's what I'm saying.
I think once you decide to walk around with nipple rings, you've made some decisions.
Right.
Yeah. You've decided this is who you're going to be.
Right.
I can't speak to whether they're actual nipple rings, but
I can't either.
But I saw what you saw, and I understand why you think what you think. Either way, he could be joining Bear Bryant.
But I don't think Bear had nipple rings.
You don't know that for sure.
I don't know. He was wearing a blazer. How would I know?
You don't know that for sure.
Like Ryan Day was wearing a dry fit shirt. It was easy to kind of like see through that.
What if the reason Bear Bryant never wore dry fit is because he did not?
He didn't want to show him off. And back then, that was probably frowned upon. Like, you can't do that. Yeah, you go to jail for that.
There's a long list of things you could go to jail for back then that are okay now. Nipple rings down the list quite a bit.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
It's different times. It was different times. Take how I feel about nipple rings, put it aside. Take how you feel about nipple rings. Let's put that aside. I do kind of like that we live in a world where in the year 2025, a national championship college football coach can comfortably pierce his nipples.
That's the world I want to live in.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. I don't think Bear Bryant would have been as comfortable.
Probably not.
I can't imagine the reaction we would have seen if you ever tried to take this conversation to Chuck Stobart.
I don't know if it would go over well.
How do you think Chuck Stobart would have reacted?
Probably not too well. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I can't speak to whether he has nipple rings, but I saw what you saw. Either way, Arch Manny's going to have to get some stuff figured out.
Yeah. He's going to have to get it figured out for sure.
Wow. Good thing he's got those uncles to call.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 2.
Oh. Sorry.
It's okay.
Number 2.
I'm here.
It's okay. Florida
I forgot
State,
it was Tuesday.
31, Alabama 17. Mike Norvell. Hey, I know he only won 2 games last year, but right before he just won 2 games last year, he was the National Coach of the Year.
Yes.
Just needed a reset.
Yes, he did.
Possibly a new offensive coordinator, but more than that, a reset. And now it's 31-17 victory over top 10 Alabama, and the Seminoles are soaring once again. And in Tuscaloosa, they want Nick Saban back. Oh, it's tough to be Kalen DeBoer right now.
Yeah, that's just one of those, man. Like you just, and I mean, I'm sure he knows when he takes that job. Like you do not get a lot of. They're not gonna allow you to slip up too much. Like you get like this. You get one this season. It was that game. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is there.
It strikes me as the type of job that you can't turn down when it's offered to you.
No, it's Alabama.
When you're the Washington coach. And 2 years before you were 2 years before you got offered the Alabama job, you were the Fresno State coach. This is not even something you really think about. It's the Alabama job. Like you can think about it perhaps when you're Dan Lanning at Oregon because you can like look at the way that thing is set up right now.
Yeah, and they're spending a lot of money. Yeah, right.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Right.
But when you're Kalen DeBoer, who most people hadn't even heard of 2 years ago. Mike Norvell was more famous 2 years ago than Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
Not even
I believe
close.
it's true, yeah.
And so this job is brought to you after multiple people have already passed on it. And you're like, I guess I got to take it. But if it doesn't go well immediately, it's a nightmare quickly. And that's such a weird thing. You make a decision voluntarily that messes your life up. A career decision that, like, oh yeah, you're gonna make all the money in the world, but you've complicated your life. Your life's not fun right now. This guy went 11-2 at Washington, won the Alamo Bowl. They built a statue of him.
Yep.
Then he backs that with 14-1, goes to the national championship game. You are over exceeding everything. Lifetime contracts at Washington. Everybody loves you. Pressure is off. You can afford to have a bad season, only win 8 games next year. People are going to focus on you want a combined 25 the 2 years before. Like, your life is going beautifully. It's not nearly as much pressure. And then this thing is just put on top of you. And you're like, I guess I got to do it. And then you go do it. And last year, you're 9-4 overall, 5-3, tied for 4th in the SEC. Lose a bowl game. And then you open this with another loss, and people start looking at you like, man, can you really do this job? At no point in his life, really, since becoming a college coach in 2005, have people questioned whether he can do the job he has.
Right.
His first year as a head coach, 2005 at Sioux Falls, 11-2. After that, 14-0, 13-1, 14-0, 15-0. He went 67-3 in his first 5 years as a college head coach. That's how you get the Fresno State job. Went 12-6 in 2 years. That's how you get the Washington job. Went 25-3 in 2 years. That's how you get the Alabama job. But if the Alabama job doesn't go well immediately, you won't keep this more than 2 years. He could be gone by the end of this thing if this doesn't get turned around.
Yeah.
That's how quickly your whole life can get flipped upside down. It reminds me a little bit, and I don't know Kalen DeBoer at all, but he does, from a distance, he seems like a unusual fit, just personality-wise. Now, I don't get caught up in geographical fits too much when it comes to coaching because, like, John Calipari's from Pennsylvania, and he did great things at Memphis, Tennessee.
Right.
Nick Saban's from West Virginia. He did great things at Alabama. Before that, he did great things at LSU. Before that, he did great things at Michigan State. I think special coaching talents are just special coaching talents. But just personality-wise, he does seem like a little bit of an awkward fit there. There's been some stuff come out of the, people around the program and then go, this doesn't feel like what Alabama football used to feel like just a few years ago. There's been some of that. And it's starting for different reasons. But if you remember Kentucky, after Tubby Smith left for Minnesota, they had to hire his replacement. They basically ran him out. They didn't fire him, but they did everything but fire him. He just basically decided, I don't want to be here anymore. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So he leaves. And then they want to hire Billy Donovan. Can't get that done. Want to hire Jay Wright. Can't get that done. They went other places. Finally, they just went, okay, we can't get our primary candidates to take our job. Who's the hottest coach in the country, even if he's barely been doing it at a high major level for a couple of years, and there's some question marks about him, but he's been really good lately. Who's that guy? Billy Gillispie at Texas A&M. He just went to a Sweet 16. Like, he's been doing great things down there. All right, he's our coach. And then very quickly, it's like, does this fit? Is this going to go well? And it didn't. He was gone after 2 years. This feels a little bit like that. Like, they couldn't get the big, sure thing, whatever the equivalent of Nick Saban was when they hired Nick Saban, they couldn't hire that guy this time. So they just had to go hire who's the guy who's been doing great things lately, even if he might not make sense as a fit, even if he hasn't been doing it very long. Oh, Kalen DeBoer at Washington. He was just in the national championship game. He'll take the job? Of course he will. How could he turn it down? Give it to him then. Boom, now he's here. 9-4. Followed up with a season opening loss to Florida State. Now 9-5. It's tough.
Yeah, I just again, like if they're able to still get in the college football playoff and make some noise and everything, like I think it'll calm things down. But you miss it again, like that's.
Oh, you missed the college football playoff 2 years in a row?
They're gonna want you on. They just are.
you either are gone or you come back as the face of the hot seat list.
Yeah, because that's like with this new college football playoff, like that's the expectation at Alabama now.
Well,
is to make it every year.
I mean, 12 teams do.
Right.
You're supposed to be Alabama.
Yes.
Now, what's also interesting, and I think there's probably some substance to this, at the exact time that you're having to replace not just an all-time great, but the guy most people consider the GOAT.
Yeah. He's on TV talking about you.
And there's a shakeup in NIL, a shakeup in revenue sharing. For a while, like Alabama just had the best roster in the sport every year. However they did it, they had it.
Right.
They had a real advantage in roster building. However they did it, they had an advantage. You could reasonably assume every year Alabama was going to have one of the most talented, if not the most talented, rosters in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
That has been leveled by NIL and revenue sharing. Now everybody can throw money at players or offset whatever coaching advantage you might have had.
Mm-hmm.
What Alabama fans would like to tell you, and I'm not here to argue because I don't have any evidence to support the contrary. So let's just play along. What they would like to tell you is, no, we didn't buy players or cheat to create one top-ranked recruiting class after another, even though our program does have a history of doing that, well documented. No, that's not what we were doing. We just had Nick Saban, and kids just wanted to play for Nick Saban because you might not make $1 million in Tuscaloosa, but you'll make $100 million in the NFL because that's what happens after you play for Nick Saban. You go to the NFL. They can't wait to get you. That's how we had a recruiting advantage. Okay, whatever your recruiting advantage was, you don't have it anymore. It doesn't exist in that way. You don't get people you used to get, according to you, simply because of Nick Saban.
Right.
And if your skeptics are right that maybe you didn't play by the rules consistently, that's what some skeptics might say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying for the sake of the conversation, in the spirit of playing devil's advocate, let's just say that if there was something to that, well, you don't have that advantage anymore.
Right.
And it's the same way in basketball. There are programs that there were whispers about them recruiting a certain way and getting things done a certain way when amateurism was still a concept in college athletics. And you'd look up and it's like, oh, wow, well, look who has the best recruiting class in America again. It's this school and this school and this coach and this coach. Hunter. Well, now all that's out the window. Everybody's got money. Everybody can spend money now. Everybody can throw money around. So the schools that used to every year get the best classes in the country, they don't do it anymore.
Right.
What changed? More people have things to throw around. You used to be the only ones throwing things around under the table. Now a bunch of people are throwing stuff around above the table. And so your advantages are gone. I just wonder how much Alabama's advantages might be gone, or at least downgraded some.
Mm-hmm.
To be clear, it's still a really good roster. They're ranked top 10 in the preseason. It ain't because Kalen DeBoer is the greatest coach in the world and you got to rank his team in the top 10 no matter what. It's because they have real players there. But is it as overwhelming relative to the rest of the sport as it used to be consistently? Doesn't look like it. And it certainly didn't look like it this weekend. So FSU 1-0, Alabama 0-1. Interesting. One coach who is on the hot seat gets a big victory to cool things down a little bit, and the other one takes a loss that might put him right on it.
Number 3.
So Clemson, you might have noticed, was some people's pick to actually be the number 1 overall seed in the college football playoff based on team ability, schedule, the lack of other awesome options, at least on paper, in the ACC. Clemson wasn't ranked number 1 anywhere. AP poll, coaches poll, that type of place. But if you went to various college football playoff bracket projections, you might see Clemson with the 1 next to their name. Well, now they're 0-1.
Uh-oh.
They lost at home to LSU. And, there's another one that's that program slipped a little bit in recent years.
I think that it all kind of leads back to them eventually wanting out of their conference, just because I think that they think they're operating at a disadvantage, that the money will just be bigger. And
well, yeah. Sure. And I'm sure that's an excuse on some level. Yeah. But this was, if you were somebody who's asking questions in recent years, like, has it slipped at Clemson? Does Dabo still got it? has NIL and revenue sharing, balance the playing field, not only in the ACC, but across the country. There was a time where, a little bit like Alabama, you looked at Clemson and you just assumed they're going to be there every time.
Yep.
And this, on paper, felt like the bounce back. Like, this is going to be the bounce back year. Watch out for Clemson. They're not ranked number one, but if you told me they were going to be the number one overall seed, ACC champs in the college football playoff, number one heading into the playoffs, wouldn't surprise me. And then they go out and lose the season opener. And I guess every tough loss for a big-name school can be a nice win for the people on the other side. So for Brian Kelly and LSU, big victory to open the season.
Oh, that's huge.
Because he's been under pressure, too. They haven't been so good at season openers. And I know, like, he's kind of, like, people just don't like him.
Quirky, yeah. People don't, yes.
People think he seems like a phony. Or at least people, perhaps it's because of the accents, and he goes down to, he's in South Bend, he talks one way, goes to Baton Rouge, talks. I don't know exactly why people don't like him. I just know that feels like a safe thing to say out loud. People don't like Brian Kelly for whatever reason. But he's a serious football coach. Like, he's been places and done things. I don't know that you ever put him number one on a list of college football coaches, but you'd probably never put him too low, because he's just sort of like, you know what you're getting. He's never going to be the coolest coach, the most popular coach, maybe not even the best coach. But I always thought at a place like LSU, where you are supposed to just get talent and dump it on top of each other, that you give a serious, like, conventional football coach like that type of talent, and maybe it'll happen. And I know it hadn't been perfect so far, but 17-10 at Clemson, season opening victory. And in a weekend where I guess Alabama takes a tough loss for the SEC, LSU offsets it on some level with a big win at Clemson. Obviously, the playoff expanding to 12 teams means, just like in Texas, Ohio State, the loser of LSU Clemson is not out of this thing at all.
Right.
But if you're Clemson and you are playing a lower-ranked team at home, you're supposed to knock that out, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was going to see where they when they play. Yeah, they get Florida State at home this year. That'll be a huge game. That's actually like middle of the season. Or no, it's towards the end. So yeah, I mean, I think that league's just going to come down to those two schools, and they'll probably get. They'll probably get one in the college football playoff. I think that's how it's going to go, right?
They could get multiple, but if you want to get multiple, it would have been helpful for Florida State and Clemson to both win these season openers. And that would have been an incredible statement by that league. But you get one with Florida State. You don't get one with Clemson. We'll see where it goes from here.
Number 4.
Bill Belichick did not have a nice debut at North Carolina. Oh, buddy. So this was the big game last night. And prime time, Michael Jordan in attendance. Lawrence Taylor in attendance.
MJ in the North Carolina fit with the hat. That was I like those kind of hats.
Looked good.
Yeah. What are those
good
called?
In that Tar Heel blue.
Like the Army hats. What are those things called? I can't remember what they're called.
We're just going to call
Anyways,
them.
I want one of those.
We're going to call them MJ hats.
Yeah.
We're going to call them logo hats.
Yeah.
I don't know. They go up 7-0. It's like, okay, Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Okay.
Immediately go up 7-0. You're like, okay, this dude's about to have this thing rolling.
They lost 48-14 to TCU at home.
Jeez.
And immediately
I've seen a million videos of Jordan, and not Michael Jordan, the other Jordan.
On one hand, oh man, how cool is it to be on national television, prime time, Labor Day, only football game on TV for the debut of Bill Belichick at North Carolina. It's only good if it goes well.
Yeah.
Because when it goes poorly, you are the only thing people are talking about.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think you want that game just in the middle, like in the middle of the Saturday slate.
I needed that right in the middle of a Saturday.
Yeah,
because maybe somebody who would otherwise be ready to get off a Bill Belichick tweet instead will aim it at Arch Manning.
Right.
But buddy, when you the only thing on Monday night, Labor Day, like we might not all be locked in front of the television, but we all know you're playing.
Yeah, and I think too, like as fans and like people that just want to like enjoy their day and like watch it college football, like you tend to get like angry because you're just watching a blowout and it's boring, and so then people just get online and they're like, they suck, he sucks, this is terrible, this isn't gonna work. It just gets every touchdown made it worse because there's nothing to talk about but how bad they look. It
was bad.
Yeah,
and you start to wonder like, how is this thing going to go? Because And think about how quickly life has turned for him. You know, it's all relative. He's still fine. But you go from NFL icon. Think about this. You're an undisputed NFL icon. When people talk about you, they talk about you as arguably the greatest football coach of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You won 6 Super Bowls in New England. Everything is like, whenever you decide you don't want to do this anymore, your legacy is cemented.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way people talked about him. Then, this is how quickly it all goes away, or at least gets distorted. You play a role in pushing Tom Brady out of New England. You just did. The main reason Tom Brady didn't want to be there anymore is because of you and the way you treated him, or the way you didn't treat him, the way he thought he deserved to be treated, given his place in the sport. So you play a role in pushing him to Tampa Bay. He goes and wins a Super Bowl without you. You just missed the playoffs consistently without him. All right? Then they can call it a mutual parting of the ways if they want to be nice. But the truth is, Robert Kraft decided, I don't want Bill Belichick coaching my franchise anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they moved him out of there. And then you know what happened next? Nobody wanted to hire him. So he takes the North Carolina job because it is quite literally the best football job he can get. But it ain't the one he wants.
Right.
He wants one in the NFL. He can't get it. So he takes the North Carolina job. Then I'm sure he thought he was the coolest thing in the world when he got a little 20-something-year-old to drop her phone number in his iPhone. But that has turned him into a punchline. That relationship has turned him into a punchline. Nobody looks at that, or at least very few people look at that and go, that's awesome. I wish that were me. Like, that makes me, like, if I were ever that age and walking around with somebody like that, I'd just shoot me in the head. I'd feel embarrassed. And so he's gone from an icon to, you ran Tom Brady out, couldn't win without him. Now no NFL team wants to hire you. Your relationship's a Saturday Night Live skit. And, you just got blasted in your season opener. Woo! I guess nobody's legacy's ever cemented as much as we think, huh?
No.
Probably should have learned that from OJ.
Yeah, probably
should have learned that from OJ.
No, that's it. And like we've talked a lot about North Carolina recently. Like they got like real aspirations going forward. So
they're paying him $10 million.
Yeah, they ain't gonna be patient with you. I mean, like they're probably gonna have to because they're paying, like you said, $10 million. But yeah, he's.
And you see some of the quotes coming anonymously, but there were college football reporters, providing quotes on social media from college football coaches. Be like, I just got a text from this assistant in the ACC, or I just got a text from this head coach in the Big Ten. And like people were enjoying this because they didn't like the idea of the NFL guy coming to college and acting like he knows everything and he's got it figured out. No, man, this is different. Congrats on your Super Bowls you won with Tom Brady, but this ain't the NFL and you ain't got Tom Brady. So maybe you don't know what you're getting into. This probably ain't gonna be as easy as you'd like to think. Yeah, you're Bill Belichick, but Bill Belichick in New England with Tom Brady and Randy Moss and all that, that's a different deal than, well, you just lost to TCU by 34.
Yikes.
Yeah.
In front of MJ, man. Come on.
In front of MJ. You know what? I do think there's perhaps something to point to there. Always take note when there's an accomplished person or a talented person who is pursuing jobs but can't get anybody to pull the trigger on him. Because that's what he did. When it was first made clear he's going to be available, the very easy thing to go on TV and say is, well, who's going to hire Bill Belichick? Who's going to be lucky enough to hire Bill Belichick? And then all these jobs open, and none of them want him. He interviews for multiple jobs. Interviewed in Atlanta.
Yep.
They did not want him. 6 Super Bowls. Arguably the greatest football coach of all time. Still wants to coach. Nobody wants him. What? Always important to take note on that. You can learn something by that. Why doesn't anybody else want this person? I want this person. Why doesn't anybody else want this person? The people who know him better than I know him, the people who've worked in the NFL, with him, around him. They know him better than I know him, and they won't touch him. Why? Maybe you're starting to get your answer.
Yeah.
Maybe you're starting. And you can apply that logic anywhere. There's people in sports media, like accomplished people. They've got their little Emmys, and you've seen them on TV, and they've worked at big places. And you go, man, I forgot about so-and-so. What happened to so-and-so? I used to see him on this one. 90% of the time, you know what the answer is? They're impossible to work with, or they've got, there's something there that just rubs people the wrong way. I'm not talking about people who've just never broken through, because that can just be you didn't get your opportunity. Yeah. I'm talking about you've been there. You've worked at the ESPN, the CBS, the Fox, the ABC, whatever. And people think you're good at it. People are like, hey, this person's been pretty good at it. But I wonder why they can't get the next contract. Why can't they ever get the second contract? It's typically because it ain't about their talent. There's something else there that people just go, I don't want to deal with this. We dealt with that one time, or I've heard stories or whatever. Why didn't any NFL franchise want to hire that guy? He's among the most accomplished football coaches ever, and still wanted to coach, and still at an age where people still can do the job.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to hire him. Well, maybe you're learning why. Maybe the magic that was once there was not quite entirely his and difficult to recapture in the year 2025. But we'll see. It's still early.
Yep.
But the first impression was not good.
Not great.
Number 5.
All right, so that's enough about week 1. Let's focus on week 2. And I'm already fired up about Oregon, Oklahoma State. It's not when
Tell me more.
Okay, first off, it's going to be on CBS, America's Most Watched Network of Stars, 2:30 Saturday. Beyond that, we already have a war of words. Have you seen this at all?
A little bit.
Okay, this is great.
Yeah.
I love this. Mike Gundy, he's the coach at Oklahoma State. I'm a man, I'm 40, you know.
Yep.
Okay. So he went on his radio show yesterday, and he was talking about this upcoming game with Oregon. And Mike Gundy said that Oklahoma State this year spent around $7 million on its team over the past 3 years. So he said over the past 3 years, we've been spending about $7 million to build our team. And emphasized how that's nothing compared to what Oregon has been spending on its team. The quote, I think Oregon spent close to $40 million last year alone. So that was just 1 year. Now I might be off a few million. I think he is off a few million. It was widely regarded last year that Ohio State had the most expensive roster in the sport, and it was in excess of 20 million, right around 20 million.
Okay.
So there's no evidence that Oregon spent 40 million. But I exaggerate sometimes in storytelling as well, so I'll accept that. Either way, his point is, little old Oklahoma State, we only spend about $7 million, and they spending like 40. How are we even supposed to compete with big old Oregon like that? He said, Oregon is paying a lot of money for their team. From a non-conference standpoint, there's coaches saying they should play teams with similar budgets. So he takes it a step further. I only spend $7 million on my team. They're spending 40. And if not 40, 20. And if not 20, let's just call it 15. But they're certainly outspending me. Wouldn't it make more sense in the non-conference portion of the schedule? Like, why did my little $7 million budget, why do I got to pay somebody with a $20 million budget? Does that seem fair? Maybe there's a better way to do this. So then the quotes get taken back to Dan Lanning, head coach at Oregon, who I love, by the way. He used to work here. He, in 10 years, 5 years, who's the face of college football coaching?
Might be him.
This is the guy. It seems that way. He just everything. He just seems like he checks every box. Here's what he said when presented with it last night on his radio show. He said, quote, if you want to be a top 10 team in college football, you better be invested in winning. We spend to win. Some people save their money to have an excuse for why they don't win. I can't speak on their situation. I have no idea what they got in their pockets over there at Oklahoma State. But here's the best quote. And these are the best counterpoints in any argument, because anytime you can use somebody's own logic against them to make them look silly, it's very difficult to counter that. And so what is the gist of Mike Gundy's argument? Oregon's spending $40 million. We're only spending $7 million. This doesn't seem fair. In the non-league portion of our schedule, like some people think maybe if you're going to spend $20 million on a football team, you should be scheduling other programs that spend $20 million on a football team. But how are you going to be spending $20 million? I only spend $7 million. Now you schedule me. Does that seem fair? Maybe we ought to all schedule, in our same price range. And Dan Lanning rebutted that with this. I'm sure UT Martin maybe didn't have as much money on their roster as Oklahoma State did last week, but they played. So we'll just let this play out. You played UT Martin, bro.
Yeah.
You're Mr. I don't think we should be playing somebody who outspends us like this. You don't think you outspend UT Martin at Oklahoma State? You don't think your roster is more expensive than UT Martin's? But you scheduled that game. Get your money up, broke bitch. That's what he said.
That does appear that's what he said. God, it reminds me a lot of last year with Jeff Traylor and Ryan Silverfield before that UTSA game.
Nobody wants to hear. Nobody wants to hear about this anymore.
Right.
You all have, particularly at the Power 4 level, like it's one thing. Like, if the East Carolina coach wants to pop up and be like, it's kind of hard.
yeah.
I got that. I'll listen to that. You're Oklahoma State, man. You had Boone Pickens.
Mm-hmm. You got oil money.
You had Boone Pickens for decades, propping up that football program in a variety of ways.
True.
And now somebody else is propping up Oregon in a way that maybe you're not getting propped up the way you used to. So now suddenly the resources matter.
Not fair, yeah.
Now it's not fair? Come on, man. Nobody wants to hear it.
It's true.
It's 2025. If you're in a Power 4 conference, you have an opportunity to raise money and spend it. If you don't, if you can't compete with Oregon dollar for dollar, I don't want to say without exception, then it's on you, but largely it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
And either way, nobody wants to hear your complaints.
Not at all.
Either way, nobody wants to hear your complaints. But I can't wait for this one.
I'm ready, yeah.
I can't wait for the handshake.
That'll be fun.
Dan Lanning, Mike Gundy, Oregon, Oklahoma State this weekend in Eugene. Be back with GP's Carryout.
It's a massive weapon to have you pressuring the ball that far up. It wrecks offenses.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't want to do it. I think that's the main thing. Like, who wants to pick up full court the whole game? And on the opposite end, who wants someone picking them up full court the whole game?
It's annoying.
So it's annoying, so I feel like that's why I like doing it, because it's like, I wouldn't want someone to do it to me the whole game. It just shows how well-conditioned they are, too, because, like, damn, this dude will not stop.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Well, it was just announced minutes ago. As expected, we've discussed it previously. John Calipari, who was the coach of the University of Memphis for 9 seasons and guided the Tigers to 4 Sweet 16s, 3 Elite Eights, including a trip to the 2008 National Championship game, has agreed to bring the Arkansas Razorbacks to FedEx Forum next month for a game against the Tigers. It's an exhibition be played in the preseason, proceeds benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. The date, October 27th. The date that had previously been discussed was October 28th, a Tuesday. The date being discussed today is October 27th. That would be a Monday night. Tickets go on sale September 9th. And John Calipari is scheduled to join me on tomorrow's show in studio.
Let's go.
Former coach of the Tigers, current coach of the Razorbacks, should be sitting in between me and Bennett on tomorrow's show. So we're obviously looking forward to that.
What's today's biggest game?
We got a possible World Series preview tonight at Comerica Park in Detroit.
Okay.
Mets at Tigers, first pitch, 5:40. The Mets are going with Nolan McClain, the rookie sensation, 3-0, 0.89 ERA. The Tigers are countering with Sawyer, Gibson, Long. Mets are favored on the road tonight. That's the strength of that rookie arm. That's the strength of that rookie arm, Bennett. Minus 130, you can get Detroit at plus 110. How you going to act?
I'll take the Tigers.
What
yeah, I know.
Juan Soto.
They've got 80 wins. They're going to lose 2 in a row at home.
Yes, Nolan McClain. Nolan McClain is the op tonight. They've done messed around and got into a situation where Nolan McClain is their ops. Nolan McClain's their ops in Detroit today. It's tough. You don't want Nolan McClain being your ops.
I'm going Tigers.
You don't want Nolan McClain being your ops. 3-0, 0.89 ERA.
I'm going Tigers.
Okay, Bennett, keep losing then. You're negative 1.1 units on your life.
I can't believe what happened on Friday. Ugh.
You're negative 1.1 units on your life. You doubted Hugh Freeze. You paid for that.
And I knew, like,
doubt Hugh Freeze and doubt Nolan McClain in back-to-back picks.
I almost wanted to, like, call and see if I could, like, change my pick post-show. I don't think we allow that in the rules. I think once the pick is set, it's set. There's no going back.
No,
but
I'm not trying to answer a phone call after the show.
As the day was going on, I was like, holy crap, that was the worst pick ever. Because literally everyone, as I was reading about the game, was like, here's the thing. Baylor, it's on the road at Baylor, and Hugh Freeze, like, it's been a rough go, whatever. Auburn, they have way more money to spend on players than Baylor does. Don't overthink it. And I was like, damn it, I overthought it.
You've overthought it. Yes. You made a mistake, and now you're doing it again. He's taken Detroit plus 110 tonight. First pitch 5:40 against Nolan McClain, rookie sensation.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in TMZ Presents?
What are you presenting tonight?
The war over OnlyFans. It's tonight at 8 o'clock on Fox 13. Tonight, 8 o'clock on Fox 13, the following question will be tackled. Is OnlyFans a lucrative opportunity or a path to ruin? Possibly both.
I'd like to find out.
You personally?
Sure. Oh, no, not personally, no. I don't think anyone would subscribe.
I would, just to support you.
Just to support me?
Yeah,
okay,
just to
so
support
I got
you.
one subscription?
It would just be me.
Think you need more than that to survive?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it works too much. Although, here's what I gather. If you're an attractive young woman, you can make a lot of money on OnlyFans, but you will also end up crying on camera at some point. That's my experience with OnlyFans models. I want to be clear, no personal experience with OnlyFans models. I'm not an OnlyFans subscriber to anyone, all right?
Same.
All right?
Let that be known.
I'm not judging anybody who wants to subscribe to other OnlyFans. To each their own. I'm just saying I've never been on OnlyFans, and I have never subscribed to an OnlyFans. Every once in a while, somebody will tell me about some leaks. You know, I'm human. But I ain't never put my credit card nowhere.
I got you.
If you know what I'm saying.
You.
But here's what I gather most about OnlyFans. If you're a young, attractive woman, there's a decent chance you can make some real money. But at some point, you end up just crying on the internet and hating yourself and questioning your life.
Well, that's sad.
It is sad.
Yeah.
I watch these beautiful women cry all the time. And I was like, I just saw you the other day. You were just very happy. Just like, I think you were getting ready to take a bath or something.
Yeah.
And now you're crying again. So I think if the question is OnlyFans a lucrative opportunity or a path to ruin, I think possibly both.
Okay.
First lucrative opportunity, but then you feel ruined. Maybe not all. In fact, I'm certain, not all, but certainly some.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll learn more tonight.
Okay.
We'll learn more tonight, 8 o'clock, Fox 13. TMZ presents The War Over OnlyFans.
What's the best thing we've read?
Chip Patterson's got his top 25 today already posted over at CBSSports.com, where he tries to anticipate the next AP poll. It drops at 1 o'clock today, so it'll be out about an hour 45 from now. But Chip Patterson at CBSSports.com trying to anticipate it. He's got Ohio State at number 1, followed by Penn State at 2, LSU 3. Texas drops down to 4, Georgia at 5. You can find that homepage, CBSSports.com, right now.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow will be Wednesday. Chris Vernon expected to join me in studio. John Calipari should be here as well, so it should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.
The NBA announced their dunk of the year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
What about the hanging your hat on the defensive end? Where does that come from?
And one thing my dad told me is if you want to get to the NBA, if you want to leave an impact, if you're a competitor like you say you are, you're going to be one of the best defenders on the court every time you step on there. He said you're not going to disrespect the game. You're not going to take it for granted. You know, this is not a right, it's a privilege. So go out there and compete every day.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.